You're listening to Big Blend Radio, Champagne Sunday Show with Nancy and Lisa, and you just heard Right Across. It is the first single from the debut album Scavenger by guitarist, composer, and producer Prateek Rajagopal. And the album also features Colin Edwin from Porcupine Tree. The album release is April 19th this year, 2019. And you can go to bandcamp.com and look up the band. Go to hoiatv.bandcamp.com and you'll find the album there. And we're very excited to have Prateek join us, calling in from Mumbai. So welcome, Prateek. How are you?
I'm good, Lisa. How are you?
Doing good. Prateek, it's St. Patrick's Day over here, so you get to have the Indian version, the Mumbai version of St. Patrick's Day. Is Prateek, that means Patrick, right, or no?
No, it doesn't mean Patrick, but I just make it simpler for people who aren't Indian. It's just easier for them to call me Patrick instead of Prateek. It's like my name in the West.
It's your Western name. Okay, I like Prateek. Yeah. I like that. I like Saint
Prateek. That's perfect then.
Yeah, Prateek and Rajagopal, I like that too. To me, it's always interesting to learn different languages and different names. And I know you live in Mumbai, but you're not originally from there, right? You were actually in Oman before, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I was born and brought up in Muscat, which is a beautiful little city. It's just a population of, I think, 2.5, 3 million people. But it's a lovely country in the Middle East. And now I'm in Mumbai, yeah.
Yeah. Why did you decide to move to Mumbai?
I actually came here to study. After my schooling got done in Oman, the only thing that lacks in the Middle East is good education, and India actually has a really good education system. So I think I just decided to come here to study, and I didn't know whether I'd end up being a musician here, but I did have an idea about the music industry over here, and I thought, maybe, I could come here for education and hopefully pursue music side by side, and just basically see where it could take me.
And it's interesting because in your music, it seems that you work with musicians from around the world, in America too, Poland. So it seems to me that you're really you don't box yourself into one place, and you certainly don't box yourself up in regards to one genre of music. I know everyone's saying it's prog rock, but to me, this, it kind of gives me that Pink Floyd vibe, and it's got that, I don't know, it's got like electronic style. I don't know. To me, I just like it because it flows from one thing to the next. The album is so cool. And Nancy, I know you want to make videos with it now. Uh-oh, here she goes.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Okay, so what I just listened to, I have a weird mind. This is where my mind went, that the sun doesn't want to set, and the moon can't rise until the sun sets. So the moon's saying, "Move over, I'm coming through."
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
So,
that's
yeah.
crazy.
He's like, "What?" No. So the sun is setting. The daytime animals have got to go to sleep, and the moon brings on the whole other side of what happens when we're all asleep.
Wow.
So all the
really nice
night
way of
animals.
putting it, actually.
Sorry?
That's a nice way of putting it. Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
You see? There you go. Well, I think you may write it in one way, but everyone interprets music in their own way.
Yeah.
What was the whole, focus for you when you were writing, Scavenger? Because it's a lot of mood music in there. You go from different moods.
Absolutely. So the thing is, I am a pretty moody guy. I'm not going to lie about it. I love to express emotionally using this thing called music, which basically doesn't exist, but then all of a sudden it does, and you don't know where it comes from. And I strongly believe that even the music I write, when people ask me how I write it, I have no clue. It's like I just feel something and I just go sit with my guitar or sit on my computer and like maybe in a day or two, there's just something that's out there, So I try my best to write on a very emotional level because I think that's a true representation of where I come from at that point in time. And yeah, I totally agree that it is moody music. It's especially moody towards the darker side and, a slightly gloomier side. It's not very happy music for sure. But yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of just expressing using something that's called music. It's just sound waves. Yeah,
do you put colors? Do you put colors to emotion? Like most people think angry is the color red, and calm is the color blue. Do you put colors to emotions?
I definitely I am influenced by colors, and I do think colors have have an influence on what music, like for example, if I am, and it's also based on, I think it's also very how do I put this, it's also conditioning. For example, if you talk about happy things or like brighter music, you do think of slightly brighter colors. I don't have synthes. I think it's called synthesia. I don't know what the term is, where people see different colors altogether. But I don't see different colors. I see very cliche, like colors which most people will be able to relate to, which is why when I think of dark music, I can think of obviously colors like red and black and, gray and like off blue. And yeah, and I think that's why even the cover for the album is a very red and a black sort of an approach what I took, because that's what I could see. And it's very important as a musician to kind of visualize some color in your own little way when you write. And yeah, I think it's important.
Now is it a band? When you look at, is it Hoya? I want to make sure about this, if it's an acronym or not, because from what I know about Hoya is a forest. So I wanted to know about that part. Okay.
Yeah, so you're right. It's actually based off the forest in Romania, and yeah, the forest is known for supernatural activity. And when I was writing the first EP, actually, I wrote the music because in my head, I was like in a very emotionally turbulent place. And I was like, okay, I can only think of, I can only relate to supernatural or like things that I would like to believe exist, but it's really hard for the human mind to kind of fathom. And it's hard for us to perceive such things. But I mean, yeah, that's why I went for that name, something that kind of represents the starting of this journey, this musical project. And yeah.
The forest concept, I mean, when you read, people like Joseph Campbell and Walt Whitman, they all, and even Thoreau, they always talk about going into the forest, and it's that finding yourself in the forest. And and that's where you find the light. You have to go through that really dark part of the forest where wolves are going to come get you.
Oh.
And then, and maybe that's why it's Little Red Riding Hood. She's coming out with her little red. She's got that red, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to get you," And Scavenger, even when I heard the first title, it reminds me of vultures. And yet vultures, people look at vultures at this very dark, almost disgusting to them because they eat dead flesh. Yet to me, I think they're beautiful. And I think they play such an important role. If they didn't eat the dead flesh, we would have the plague and we'd all be sick, And so there's that part. And that's what I kind of thought, like, there's like vultures in there and like jackals. You have jackals in India, right? Like we used to have them in Africa.
I don't think so. Not that I'm aware of.
Huh.
No, not that I'm aware of. I might be wrong, actually.
Yeah, I thought India did. I want to go to India just so I can go out in the nature and see the birds and go in the Indian forest. That's what I want to do.
Don't be some kind of wild dog species.
Yeah, because the jackals.
Yeah.
We lived in South Africa and Kenya for many years, and you go out in the bush and you'll see jackals, kind of like a coyote we have in America, But the jackals would also eat the dead flesh. They would be in there with the vultures. And it's just an interesting thing. And when you have that concept in music, because you do go through a lot of moods, but you bring in this flowing. You've got to you got to listen to the album from the start to the end, because it flows. Like one song flows into the other, and I feel like some of them, it's almost like it could be one piece of music. Some parts of the other ones bring in a little bit from the beginning again. So it's this full journey.
Yep, and you pretty much nailed the whole idea of of a species that might come off as something that is repulsive but actually isn't. And I also fully agree about going into a forest, or it could be a metaphor of going into some place and coming out with some experience, and I'm actually also very spiritual in the sense that I've been practicing meditation and yoga for many years, thanks to my parents, of course. And yeah, the beautiful thing about India and India's culture, especially from many, many, many years ago, is that they figured out a lot of crazy and really tripped out stuff about souls and about life after death, and a lot of different things. And I'm very inspired by all of that as well all the time. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. So so you pretty much nailed the forest and like going in to kind of find yourself.
And that whole part too, where you talk about India and the spirituals and the spirituality and the souls. I've gone into a lot of that myself, and it's I find it very interesting because death is so different there than here on the Western. Everybody feels some form of remorse because it's a transition, and so whenever there's a transition, it's not what you've left. Now you've left that comfort part, and yet there's just there's that one when someone dies where they go to the Ganges, and it's like the bodies are burning, and a lot of people over here will go, no, and I'm like, that's how it's done there, and there's a freedom to that than being put in the ground, and stuffed down.
Yeah.
Like everybody wants everyone to float up to heaven, but you're putting them down under, man. You're not helping them go up.
Not only that, you're nailing them in a box.
I know. You're killing them again.
It's like, hey, let me out.
I know.
Okay, so yeah, that's
good
also very
conversation for a
true.
Sunday.
Yeah. That's what I hope my music didn't do that to you, but but you're right. I mean, in our culture, we do believe that death is actually very forgiving, and the god of death in Hinduism is actually one of the most knowledgeable, forgiving, and one of the nicest gods is what they say, because they are actually ridding you of, it's like they are letting you start a new journey again in order to reach that point of enlightenment. Like an example is, like my guru, he gives an example where it's like you blow your nose, you throw the tissue away, you don't use the same tissue to wipe your nose again, and that's what the god of death does. He keeps giving you new tissues. And that's the way they look at it here. So they say that after somebody dies, you mourn for like the first 7 to 10 days max, and then you celebrate. You celebrate their life because you're kind of bidding their soul goodbye, and you're hoping that the soul finds peace and somehow connects with you in another lifetime, probably. So
I like that.
That's the way they look at it here.
I think that you need to do the tree exercise.
Oh yes, you've probably done it.
You probably have in some form, but there's an exercise that's really cool to do, and it's you find a tree, and since we're into the forest here, pick a tree and get down on your hands and knees. Put your right hand, the palm of your right hand, on the trunk of the tree, and close your eyes, and just stay that way until you can hear the heartbeat of the tree. It's really cool.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's fun.
It's a good meditation.
Beautiful.
It's and we are related to trees. We share DNA with trees. So it's
Yeah, yeah.
it
In fact, I mean, another thing I'm sorry to cut you off. Another thing they
no no
say is that, yeah, we are all like all our bodies at the end of the day. Everything you see, whether it's a rock, whether it's a mountain, whether it's a tree, or whether it's a human being, we all belong to Earth. That's
mm,
what they say. Like, we all decompose and we're all like, there's no difference between you and a rock.
mm,
It's all part of the same ocean of creation.
mm. I love that.
So,
That's how I feel. I just everything, and when you realize we're all connected, then kindness can be it is stronger.
absolutely.
You know.
100% agreed. Yeah, especially in the world right now where things are, I mean, it's
Mm.
okay. At every point of the world, there has been a generation that has said this is probably the worst time to be alive, and things are miserable. But, um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like you could kind of view it the other way as well. Like,
Mm.
yeah. Anyway, this
Agreed.
is.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Now, it is our Champagne Sunday show. Now, if you are Hindu, you maybe don't drink champagne, but this it
Yeah.
doesn't. You don't have to
No,
have
Hindus
alcohol.
Hindus do everything. Like Hindus
Oh,
in
okay,
2019 do
cool.
everything. That's absolutely fine. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, there it is.
But I don't.
Go ahead.
But I don't drink.
Okay, well, we'll drink for you because we always have our. This is
Oh,
our.
Because we're good at that.
This is what we do on Sundays. We always have our champagne, and it doesn't have to be champagne, everyone. It could be water, it could be tea, it could be anything. It's really about taking time out and looking at what you're happy about. What's something that makes you happy, or gratitude, something that someone else has done or you have done, or what are you happy about, grateful for today? Because it's exactly what you're saying. We look at the world and it's like this is the worst time ever, and
Yeah.
yet there are beautiful things happening, and this goes with your album too, where beauty
Yeah.
and harshness can align. Something dark and light always ride together. They always ride together. You cannot have the moon without the darkness. You can't have moonlight without dark. So I think that's the beauty. What a cool conversation today. I love this. Let's start with our toast. So Nancy, what are you toasting to today?
Well,
she's the mother. She has to go first.
I think since
Always.
I'm looking at a house with no furniture and no knickknacks and no books and no anything. It's all empty-fied because we're leaving. I'm toasting to a brand new beginning, a life on the road for the foreseeable future.
I agree.
Yeah, I think I have to toast to that.
Mhm. And for
Hey.
you, Prateek, what are you toasting to? What are you happy about?
I'm just happy. I'm as pretentious as this sounds. I'm just happy I'm existing, and I'm very grateful for my support system. And I mean, yeah, my parents and immediate family, my brother, my a bunch of friends, and I'm just, to be honest, no complaints. Life is fantastic. Tomorrow, if I die, I think I'm gonna die happy. But yeah, I think it's great. Like I'm grateful for everything in my life.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm toasting to what Nancy says too, and to what you're saying. And especially when you go through things, we're going through a massive change. To be on the road full time, we get rid of everything. We
Yeah.
have a tiny storage unit. It was a 3x5,
3x4.
3x4 feet,
No,
8 feet tall.
3x4.
Wow.
Yeah, with 8 feet tall.
And so we got rid of everything except for really, her paintings and things like that, and my writing, and we put that in there. And so it's a transition, and we've been through this many times, having lived in different countries and done these tours before. This is the ultimate one. I mean, we actually used to ship more than around different countries than what we're doing now. But there's something. It's kind of like that. We're going into spring, so it's that change of season, and it is about letting go. And it feels good. It's hard, but once you do it, there's a very freeing thing. It's like you want to. It's spring is here, and there's flowers. The animals are all happy and wanting to, be lovey-dovey with each other. But to me, it is about simplicity and letting go and stepping into the world of simplicity. So you can't let anything
That's
bad in.
amazing.
Yeah, it's
That's
cool,
great.
man.
That's
It's
really,
like
really cool.
trading.
And
Yeah. It's
yeah, you're
it.
right. And good luck for that. And I'm sure you guys are gonna kill it because, I mean, I do believe that change is it's great if you keep moving past, what you were comfortable with or something. It's always great to kind of kick things away and do something that's different, and you wouldn't
Mhm.
know if you would try. So, I mean, I hope you guys kill it and yeah, cheers.
Yeah, cheers. We'll get to Hoya. Let's go to Hoya. You're gonna meet us
Cool.
there? We'll go to Romania.
Oh, hell yeah, that'll be awesome.
Okay, cool. Cool. Let's all meet up in Hoya. Let's go see if there's any Wolverines.
Oh, damn.
There's
I'm not too
interesting
sure
animals.
about that.
It's been such a pleasure having this conversation with you, and such a pleasure getting to know your music. And we wish you nothing but the best of success and happiness with this, and that you continue doing this. Your music really, I love it that you just you just go for it and have integrity with what you do, and I think that's very important when you are very true to your art and your
Thank you
craft.
so much. I'm so
Yeah,
happy to hear that.
yeah, no, it's beautiful, and we're gonna play. I love this. This is, I'm sorry, my favorite. Electric Wizard is cool, man. This is pretty epic. I love
Awesome.
this song. Yeah, we're gonna play that, and again, the album is out is April 19th, right?
Yes, April 19th, April 5th on Apple Music, and April 19th on everything else, Spotify and everything else. Yeah.
Okay, so everyone, again, the website it's Hoya TV, so it's HOIA. HoyaTV.bandcamp.com is the best place to go, right? And then also you've got your website that people can go to.
Yeah, I think that this one's the perfect one, like the Bandcamp one, because that has
Okay.
everything.
Okay. So everyone go there, and you can also find Hoya on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. Check them out there as well. So here it is, Electric Wizard, and we want to thank the National Parks Arts Foundation for sponsoring today's show and segment with Prateek, and because they are awesome. A whole month in a national park to just create. And I think you should do it, Prateek. I think you should come out here to America and go live in a park for a month. I think you should do it.
So here's the thing. My brother is actually from the state. I mean, he works in the States. He stays in Raleigh, North Carolina, and
Oh yeah.
and we've traveled a huge part of the United States as a family. We love visiting the U.S. and we just go crazy traveling. In fact, in 2017 we did Monument Valley, we did Arches National Park, and
Cool.
yeah,
Cool.
we started I think from Denver and from Colorado, and we drove all the way down to New Mexico, and it was crazy. Yeah, we
Awesome.
love the place, so definitely.
Well, next time you come out
Yeah.
here, apply for one of these residencies. I think you would be so awesome for it. They even have a music studio in one of their artist residencies in Hawaii at the Hawaii volcanoes. And so you stay in this beautiful house, 6 bedrooms, sleeps up to 6 people. I know that. And they now have a music studio that you can create right there while you look at the ocean.
What a great place.
So I'm just saying.
Really,
yeah, you need to go.
You need to do it.
Everyone. NationalParksArtsFoundation.org is the website. We've got to run. Thank you so much again, Prateek. Such an amazing time with you.
Thank you so much. It was lovely.
Thank you. Here it is, everyone. Electric Wizard.